You had the whole day. You told yourself, today is the day. Today I get it done. But somewhere between waking up and right now, it didn't happen. And the worst part? You knew it wasn't going to happen. You felt it, but you couldn't stop it.
That's not laziness. That's not weakness. That's not a character flaw. That is your brain, working exactly as it was designed to. And once you understand why, you'll never look at procrastination the same way again.
Here's what most people get wrong about procrastination. They think it's about time management. So they buy planners, they set timers, they make schedules. And it works for about 3 days.
Because procrastination is not a time problem. It's an emotion problem. Psychologists at Carleton University in Canada have spent decades studying this, and their conclusion was simple. People don't procrastinate to avoid the task. They procrastinate to avoid how the task makes them feel.
Anxiety, boredom, self-doubt, frustration, fear of failure. These feelings attach themselves to certain tasks, and your brain, a machine built for survival, tries to protect you from them by steering you somewhere that feels better right now.
Let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain when you procrastinate. There are 2 systems at war inside you. The first is your prefrontal cortex, the rational, planning part of your brain. It knows the deadline. It knows the consequences. It wants to act.
The second is your limbic system, the emotional, instinctive part. It doesn't think in weeks or months. It only cares about right now. And right now, that task feels bad, so it says, don't.
Here's the problem. Your limbic system is older, stronger, faster. It was built to keep early humans alive, to run from predators, to seek food, to rest when possible. It was not built for tax returns or term papers. But it's still running the show.
So when you sit down to do something difficult or uncomfortable, your limbic system fires up. It tells you this feels dangerous, this feels bad, do something else. And your brain rewards you for listening.
When you scroll your phone instead of working, you get a small hit of dopamine, relief, comfort, and your brain takes note. Avoidance worked. Do it again. Over time, this becomes a loop, a habit, a pattern. Task appears, anxiety rises, avoidance begins, relief arrives. Repeat.
There's another layer to this that makes it worse. Psychologists call it the present bias. Your brain values immediate rewards far more than future ones, so the pain of doing the task right now feels much bigger than the pain of the consequences later.
Even when you know, logically, that doing it now saves you from suffering later, your brain doesn't feel it that way. Future pain is abstract. Present discomfort is real. And your brain always bets on what's real.
Now you understand the real problem. So why doesn't the usual advice work? Just make a schedule. Just set a deadline. Just stop being distracted. These are solutions to a time problem. But you don't have a time problem.
Willpower is another trap. We treat willpower like a character trait. Either you have it or you don't. But research shows willpower is more like a battery. It depletes throughout the day. Every decision you make drains it slightly. By evening, you're running on empty. And that's when the procrastination wins.
There's also something called self-criticism spiral. You procrastinate, you feel guilty, you feel worse about yourself. Feeling worse makes the task feel even more threatening. So you avoid it even more, and the cycle tightens.
Here's the painful irony. The harder you are on yourself for procrastinating, the more you will procrastinate. Because self-blame is another form of emotional discomfort, and your brain is very good at avoiding discomfort.
So what does actually work? The answer isn't discipline. It's design. Instead of fighting your brain, you work with it. The first shift is this. Stop trying to feel motivated before you start. Motivation doesn't come before action. It comes after. Behavioral scientists call this the action-motivation loop. You start, even badly, even reluctantly, and the doing creates the feeling to keep going.
The second shift is reducing the emotional cost of starting. Not the whole task, just the start. Researchers call this temptation bundling, pairing something you dread with something you enjoy. Only listen to your favorite playlist while working. Only have your favorite drink at your desk. You're training your brain to associate the task with something good.
The third shift is implementation intentions. Not, I will work on this today, but I will work on this at 9 a.m. at my desk for 25 minutes. Studies show that being specific about when, where, and how long almost doubles follow-through, because you're removing the decision in the moment. The decision is already made. And finally, self-compassion. Research by Dr. Kristin Neff at the University of Texas shows that people who are kind to themselves after setbacks recover faster and perform better. Not because compassion feels good, because it breaks the shame spiral. It removes the emotional weight that was making the task feel impossible. Procrastination isn't a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that your brain is human. It's protecting you from discomfort the only way it knows how. But now you know what's really happening. And that changes everything. You don't need more willpower. You need a better understanding of yourself. That's what Scribble Psycho is here for. Simple lines, deep minds.